direction. They have great choreography, and it's paired with intense and a very intense music score from this piano. They have coordination of movements up to the nanoseconds, I think, both from dancers and the camera. It is a unique approach to military action and, yeah, maybe politicians. And it just complemented with an outstanding edition. I really
It was
enjoyed it.
such a cool piece. It could have been very simple to have the pianist on stage and a dancer, and that's it. Like the music itself was really fun to listen to, and the piece itself was just beautiful. But instead of just doing that, something simple to get away with it, you elevate it by so many different levels by including multiple dancers. The camera work itself was really fun. There were so many different uses of the camera, which I thought was really exciting to see in something that isn't a story. And there's nothing narrative about this in a sense where someone's talking or there isn't a chase scene or anything, but it felt like there was because of how the camera was used from being overturned or just following someone around. And it was just really cool to see. The framework itself was really great considering it was all done on stage with one piano, and the fact that you were able to think of using the legs of the piano and just that empty space and having that as a frame was really, really cool. And then obviously the transitions that were done from the tuxedo to the camo. It was just so flawlessly done. So that really is a nod to the editing team as well as the dancers who were able to nail that choreography and make it just seem so seamless. So really, there was just so many amazing parts to this and so many fun things to witness visually. So overall, really, really great
This
job.
was a very, very cool piece. The music is a Prokofiev piece, a Russian composer who I really like. And it seemed like the sort of the purpose of this was to show the POV of a classical pianist, and he's in this very empty theater. Actually, looked like the Doolittle Theater, which I've been in before. But and then kind of what he sees, it's snowing on his piano. He hears the sound of the crowd, and then there's these dancers all around him, dancing to Prokofiev as he's playing it really, really well. Incredible. And it becomes sort of a classical hip hop. There was definitely Ensign 7. I wonder if there was a lot of military uniforms and stuff and some sort of military movements. So I wonder if this, there might be something here that I'm not quite catching. The Ensign 7, though, gives an idea that there might have been some military thing at it. Great editing, great use of film, and great choreography, great photography, excellent piece. Only 5 minutes long, well worth seeing. It's very, very good. Excellent filmmakers.
Wow, this was such a performance from beginning to end. I loved watching the man at the beginning start his piece on the piano, and then when the hands first came up, I was like, oh, whoa, okay, what's happening here? And then slowly, the dancers appeared, or quickly, I should say, and it was just so much fun to watch. I noticed the camera work was done really well. I know that there was a lot of movements, a lot of things to capture, a lot of things happening at once. And I thought that they did a great job. Just a really fun piece. I think I have to say my favorite part was the end and the credits, which was when the piece was over and the pianist stood up and you could hear when the credits were rolling, you could hear the loud applause from the audience and the crowd, but on screen he's standing and he's performed to an empty theater. And there was something really poetic about it. Also, theaters have been empty for a little while, and so there was a bit of sadness to it, but then you hear the cheers, and I really liked that intercut kind of scene. This was really great to watch. The dancers are so talented. I loved how they did the outfit switches in between, and it was so seamlessly done and edited together. Just great job by this team.
I absolutely know that moment of anticipation before you're stepping out onto a stage about to play a piece on the piano. There is that stress, that apprehension, but also that self-talk of I am going to conquer that thing. And it was captured so brilliantly by this piece. It was just such an expressive, playful imagining of the movement in the song and the sonic journey that we're taking on. When I go to a classical concert, I always sit back and put a story to each song, and it just let the score come to life with the characters and the story. And this was so delightful to be able to see that happen right in front of me. With the dance warlike combat scene paralleled with the musicians battle, the chaos of war, but also the chaos of so many different musicians working together to make one piece come to life. And I don't know, I would love to see this exploration, this kind of physical imagining done with every piece. Like all of my favorite classical songs. It was just a gorgeous musical performance, which is a treat in itself, but then to also get this visionary choreography and imagining was wonderful. So right up my alley, and I was delighted by the prospect.
Now that was just crazy fun. I really liked the way that it opened, and we like right off the bat we get the impression we're into something. We're in for something a little special here. Just the subtle way that we went from the objective point of view to the POV of how the pianist was feeling approaching the stage and the piano. It gave a sense of almost a vertigo. I don't know, something, maybe it's just me, but there was something that was already, I felt that there was something coming up. And then, I don't know, just the way it built, and it's breathless. It was taking my breath away at certain places. Just the speed of the editing and the camera work was just so spot on. Those choreographies, the performance of the piano piece, it was just like a whirlwind and so much fun. Like I say, I found it. It was almost exhausting watching it. It was just one thing after the other. It just keeps coming at you, and it was just so well put together. One of the things that really impressed me also was the use of things in the shot, like using the piano to do the wipes. The way it was just so well thought out. The way that the camera was choreographed to go with how it was going to be all put together, and just as a whole, it was so precise and so spot on rhythmically and performance-wise, and just as a package. Wow.
The composition, as well as the interpretive dance that accompanied it, was meant to portray Hopkins' anxieties and inner battles that he and many, many other creative artists faced during the pandemic. And the dance built up to and eventually culminated in a recreation of one of the most famous war photographs ever, which is of the Americans planting the flag on the battlefield of Iwo Jima. Using the phrase inner battles repeatedly in the film's description made it quite fitting for them to use such a powerful war image as the centerpiece of it all. Although I actually felt like this film, while I was watching it, I felt like this film was a deleted scene from the movie Birdman. I mean, for crying out loud, the flag at the end said Birdgang. What more do you want? Kidding aside, though, without trying to take away anything from the dancers, I actually thought they portrayed this theme best when they kept cutting between the shots of Hopkins, like playing in front of a full house with a spotlight on him, to him playing in front of an empty theater. That was really well done. And even when the performance itself was over, the film still had more to say. the editing during the credits, where like the sound of crowd applause then kept cutting to Hopkins just getting up and leaving silently. I thought that was brilliant. But this short did a great job of capturing that feeling of inner struggle and uncertainty that creatives face during the pandemic. Although the gold standard in that department still belongs to Bo Burnham's Inside.
I thought that this had some really wonderful choreography, and it was so intriguing to see where it was starting and where it ended up. The other thing that I thought was brilliant was the camera angles. They were really unique, and it gave you such a different perspective on the story, and it drew you in to what was happening. In the set where they were, that played a part in the story too, because you have this beautiful dark set with this piano right in the middle, and then when the house lights come up and you see the rest of that theater, it's just breathtaking. And the dancers too were really incredible in how they were going back and forth between the fatigues to kind of their performance outfits, as if they were getting ready to be part of the concert, pianists in the concert as well. It was really cool.